So I remember when we were deep into COVID. And I remember this deeply because I'm a film student and I was actually trying to go to California. I graduated in December 2019 and I was literally looking for jobs and they all went away because obviously COVID shut down. But one thing that was interesting was an article. I don't know what the article was, or it was just like maybe it was a Reddit post or something. But it was a piece of information on the internet. You know how accurate those are, and it was talking about how we're eventually going to run out of content, and we're going to be relying more and more on influencers and viral moments for our entertainment because we're behind on content. And this might be a forever thing. We might be forever catching up on content. And you're kind of seeing this happen in real time where like it takes longer and longer for TV shows to come out and movies to come out, and our attention spans are getting shorter and shorter as these short form content apps get more and more popular, and you're seeing more and more like viral moments that don't necessarily last very long. And it's getting to a point where things are getting kind of crazy, and it's all attached. It's all connected to like the politics and everything. Like people are figuring out like how to hack the brain to where we just get attention. Attention's probably the most valuable thing on the planet right now besides data. And so, I mean, data and attention are actually kind of connected too, and you really want to get into that, but that's a different video. So it's interesting when you look at this Hawk Tuah girl. And obviously, like, I'm a little late on the topic, and that's mostly because I wasn't going to talk about it. Like, I was like, oh, this is another viral sensation moment. But I really think that she represents a tipping point in influencer culture and viral culture and like where we're at, to the point where this girl is catching whole ass deals. She's getting like TV shows. She's out here making all kinds of money just off of a moment, right? A moment. And what's crazy about it is that the creators of the videos, the ones who actually shot the video, they're actually suing multiple people because they're not getting any type of credit, because the original video that went viral, whoever downloaded it and put it in on whatever channel to create the viralness, they used the watermark remover on TikTok. So they didn't even know who was making this video or getting credit for it. It was this homegirl out here, and a lot of people actually thought that it was some type of skit, but no, like it was like, you know, one of those random street interviews. And you guys know the story at this point. I mean, you've seen her face everywhere at this point, and you're probably, if you're older, like my age, you're probably like really confused as to like why this girl is so popular at this point. I mean, I shouldn't say confused because it makes sense. I mean, she's somewhat attractive and she did something sexual. That's kind of all you need to do to go viral in the right time, at the right point. That's all you really need, is to be attractive and do something sexual. You'll go viral. And it's sad because the way I started this video is talking about the fact that we are running out of content. And it's getting to the point where creativity is kind of out the window. And to the point where you get completely mind blown by something like, I don't know, a president almost getting assassinated. That blew everybody's mind. But what's crazy about it is how people reacted to it, right? It wasn't like, oh man, this is crazy. No, people were pasting Donald Trump's face on 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying cover. I've seen videos and animations of Donald Trump rapping the lyrics to Many Men. Like, I think about that meme where it's like, humans are so unserious at this point where what we'll do if there's a meteorite would be the Jordan face on the earth. I'm about to put that up somewhere maybe if I do the edit. But it's crazy to me, man. And the Hawk Tuah girl, like I said, nothing against her. Like, go get your money, go get your bag. Like, do what you need to do because that's the society that we're in. But for me, she really is like a tipping point where it's like, oh man, like I think society might actually be doomed. I think we actually literally might be doomed, because you see that, and then a month later you're seeing this thing go down with Trump. You're seeing the world like collapse, at least America collapse in real time right now. You're watching it happen in real time right now. Meanwhile, Hot Tuah girl, all she did was answer a question, and now she is famous. She's copping deals. She's going to go on tour. She's doing all kinds of stuff. And all that does is reinforce to the next generation that everything is all bullshit. Like, it's not about like the hard work, right? It's not about the effort that you put in. It's about being in the right place in the right time and being silly enough to get enough people's attention. Attention powers this world. And as I said earlier, it's all attached to data, because if you give enough attention to something, then you can monetize that. You can get the data and you can use that to just be rich, right? And that's like the new algorithm. Even as I make this video, like I'm making this video because I want to speak on things, and I'm hoping that it's something that has value and meaning and make you think in a different way. Like, I'm not being silly or anything like that. I could make some more skits, and I could go the comedic route or go the route of viral sensation and try to do things to stop your scroll. But I like to make people think. But I'm also older, and I have a longer attention span, so I can go and make a 8 to 10 minute video about whatever, no problem, because I don't mind having deep conversations about things with people who have like-minded interests. But when you look at what's happening with, like, I guess the TikTok generation or Generation Alpha, Generation Z, whatever you want to call that, what you're seeing is a very interesting pattern where it's like these kids figured out that it's like, nah, I don't need to do that. I don't need to go to college. I'm just going to stay at home. I'm just going to do it. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. But what it comes down to is that the hot Tuah girl, you know, she's one of those girls who really just happened to be in the right place at the right time. That's all it really came down to, is being at the right place at the right time. And now she's going to make a bag. And so now everybody's going to be like, oh, well, I need to just make the right content at the right time. And you're seeing a dumbing down of the creativity. You're seeing a dumbing down of, like, the effort. And it's only going to get worse. Is there a solution to this? No, there's not really. And if you have one, I mean, we could talk about it in the comments. I guess the obvious ones would be like shutting down some of these social media apps as we start to really like understand how they affect us psychologically. But I also know that we live in a capitalistic corporate society, and there's money strings attached to everything. And I don't think anybody's really willing to cut those money strings, you know what I'm saying, and make things happen. I think that that bottom line, that dollar, winds up being far more important than the mental health of our society. At least in America. You go overseas, it's different. I remember when I went to New Zealand for my honeymoon, and I was hanging out with some kids out there, some teenagers. Oh, they weren't teenagers. They were like 25, 26. They were on tour with us. Younger kids. Post-college kids. And they were using the Be Real app, because they weren't messing with any of that other stuff. They're like, yeah, Be Real, you know, it just shows you in the moment. You got to do it at random times. It keeps you humble. And it's like, I mess with that. But like I said earlier, it's about the money. It's about the sweet, sweet dollars. And as long as things are still making money and putting things back into that engine, we're never really going to get to a point where we're like, oh, okay, cool. Let's stop doing that. The only thing that might happen is that these social media apps might collapse under the weight of their own pressure. But even then, man, like, even if like some crazy shit came out with Zuckerberg or any of these other dudes, like, it wouldn't affect the apps themselves. Like, they're too big to fail. And people make a lot of money off these apps. People have livelihoods and they feed their families off these apps. And so we're kind of falling into this weird like idiocracy / Ready Player One society where it's just going to be feeding into this machine, this content for us to eat over and over again, perpetual regurgitation of crap. I'm not trying to scare you all. I'm just kind of ranting. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of venting a little bit. But let me know what you guys all think. I got more videos coming. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.